Hi there, are you struggling with your UK theory test? You've just found the right video. We've made it super simple for you, breaking down the most important questions, tricky road signs, and essential tips to help you pass first time. No confusing explanations, no wasted time, just exactly what you need to know. If you find this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications so you never miss an update. If you want to feel 100% ready for your test, stay tuned, let's get started.
Question 1. How would underinflated tires affect your vehicle? A. The vehicle's gear change mechanism would become stiff. B. The vehicle's headlights would aim high. C. The vehicle's stopping distance would increase. D. The flash rate of the vehicle's indicators would increase. C. The vehicle's stopping distance would increase. Your tires are your only contact with the road. To prevent problems with braking and steering, keep your tires free from defects. They must have sufficient tread depth and be correctly inflated. Correct tire pressures help reduce the risk of skidding and provide a safer and more comfortable drive or ride. Question 2. Where would you expect to see these markers? A. On a motorway sign. B. On a diversion sign. C. On a large goods vehicle. D. On a railway bridge. C. On a large goods vehicle. These markers must be fitted to vehicles over 13 meters long, large goods vehicles, and rubbish skips placed in the road. They're reflective to make them easier to see in the dark. Question 3. You see a pedestrian carrying a white stick that also has a red band. What does this mean? A. They have limited mobility. B. They're deaf. C. They're deaf and blind. D. They're blind. C. They're deaf and blind. When someone is deaf as well as blind, they may carry a white stick with a red reflective band or bands. They may not be aware that you're approaching and they may not be able to hear anything, so, for example, your horn would be ineffective as a warning to them. Question 4. Why do motorcyclists use dipped headlights in daylight? A. So that the rider can be seen more easily. B. To improve the rider's vision. C. To stop the battery overcharging. D. The rider is inviting you to proceed. A. So that the rider can be seen more easily. A motorcycle can be lost from sight behind another vehicle. The use of headlights helps to make it more conspicuous and therefore more easily seen. Question 5. You're traveling behind a bus. What should you do if it pulls up at a bus stop? A. Sound your horn. B. Accelerate past the bus. C. Look for pedestrians. D. Pull in closely behind the bus. C. Look for pedestrians. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . People may be running to catch the bus, or passengers leaving the bus might wish to cross the road in front of the bus. Look out for them if you intend to go past it. Consider how many people are waiting to get on the bus. Check the queue if you can. The bus might move off straight away if no one is waiting to get on. If a bus is signaling to pull out, give it priority if it's safe to do so.
Hi there, I hope this video is helpful for you. If it is, please subscribe and turn on notifications for more driving tips and tests. And don't forget to comment your score. Let's get back to the video.
Question 6. Your vehicle broke down on the hard shoulder of a motorway, but has now been repaired. How should you rejoin the main carriageway? A. Wait on the hard shoulder until someone flashes their headlights at you. B. Gain speed on the hard shoulder before moving out onto the carriageway. C. Move out onto the carriageway, then build up your speed. D. Move out onto the carriageway using your hazard warning lights. B. Gain speed on the hard shoulder before moving out onto the carriageway. Signal your intention and build up sufficient speed on the hard shoulder so that you can filter into a safe gap in the traffic. Don't push your way into a small gap or cause other traffic to alter speed or direction. Question 7. What color are the reflective studs between a motorway and a slip road? A. Green. B. White. C. Amber. D. Red. A. Green. The studs between the carriageway and the hard shoulder are normally red. These change to green where there's a slip road, helping you to identify slip roads when visibility is poor or when it's dark. Question 8. What signal should you give when you're going straight ahead at a roundabout? A. Signal right when you're approaching the roundabout. B. Signal left before leaving the roundabout. C. Signal left when you're approaching the roundabout. D. Don't signal at any time. B. Signal left before leaving the roundabout. When going straight ahead at a roundabout, don't signal as you approach it. Signal left just after passing the exit before the one you wish to take. Question 9. When may you stop and wait in a box junction? A. When you're on a roundabout. B. When oncoming traffic prevents you from turning right. C. When you're in a queue of traffic turning left. D. When you're in a queue of traffic going ahead. B. When oncoming traffic prevents you from turning right. The purpose of yellow box markings is to keep junctions clear of queuing traffic. You may only wait in the marked area when you're turning right and your exit lane is clear, but you can't complete the turn because of oncoming traffic or other traffic waiting to turn right. Question 10. What does this sign mean? A. Vehicles may park fully on the verge or footway. B. Vehicles may not park on the verge or footway. C. Vehicles may park on the right-hand side of the road only. D. Vehicles may park on the left-hand side of the road only. A. Vehicles may park fully on the verge or footway. In order to keep roads free from parked cars, there are some areas where you're allowed to park on the verge. Only do this where you see the sign. Parking on verges or footways anywhere else could lead to a fine. Question 11. Who has priority when traffic lights are out of order? A. Nobody. B. Traffic going straight on. C. Traffic turning right. D. Traffic turning left. A. Nobody. When traffic lights are out of order, you should treat the junction as an unmarked crossroads. Be cautious, as you may need to give way or stop. Look for traffic attempting to cross the junction, unaware that it doesn't have priority. Question 12. How should you react to inexperienced drivers? A. Be patient and prepare for them to react more slowly. B. Flash your headlights to indicate that it's safe for them to proceed. C. Overtake them as soon as possible. D. Sound your horn to warn them of your presence. A. Be patient and prepare for them to react more slowly. Learners might not have confidence when they first start to drive. Allow them plenty of room and don't react adversely to their hesitation. We all learn from experience, but new drivers will have had less practice in dealing with all the situations that might occur. Question 13. What does this traffic sign mean? A. Advisory maximum speed limit. B. Compulsory minimum speed limit. C. Compulsory maximum speed limit. D. Advised separation distance. C. Compulsory maximum speed limit. The sign gives you an early warning of a speed restriction. If you're traveling at a higher speed, slow down in good time. You could come across queuing traffic due to roadworks or a temporary obstruction. Question 14. A horse rider is in the left-hand lane approaching a roundabout. Where should you expect the rider to go? A. In any direction. B. To the right. C. To the left. D. Straight ahead. A. In any direction. Horses and their riders move more slowly than other road users. They might not have time to cut across heavy traffic to take up a position in the right-hand lane. For this reason, a horse and rider may approach a roundabout in the left-hand lane even though they're turning right. Question 15. What should you do when there's an obstruction on your side of the road? A. Carry on, as you have priority. B. Give way to oncoming traffic. C. Wave oncoming vehicles through. D. Accelerate to get past first. B. Give way to oncoming traffic. Take care if you have to pass an obstruction, such as a parked vehicle, on your side of the road. Give way to oncoming traffic if there isn't enough room for you both to continue safely.
Hi there, I hope this video is helpful for you. If it is, please subscribe and turn on notifications for more driving tips and tests. And don't forget to comment your score. Let's get back to the video.
Question 16. What should you do when you're approaching a bus that's signaling to move away from a bus stop? A. Get past before it moves. B. Signal left and wave the bus on. C. Flash your headlights as you approach. D. Allow it to pull away, if it's safe to do so. D. Allow it to pull away, if it's safe to do so. Try to give way to buses if you can do so safely, especially when the driver signals to pull away from a bus stop. Look out for people getting off the bus or running to catch it, because they may cross the road without looking. Don't accelerate to get past the bus, and don't flash your lights, as this could mislead other road users. Question 17. You're following a large vehicle as it approaches a crossroads. What should you do if the driver signals to turn left? A. Wait for the driver to cancel his signal. B. Overtake if there are no oncoming vehicles. C. Overtake if you can leave plenty of room. D. Wait for the vehicle to finish turning. D. Wait for the vehicle to finish turning. Hold back and wait until the vehicle has turned before proceeding. Don't overtake, because the vehicle turning left could hide another vehicle emerging from the same junction. Question 18. When would you use the right-hand lane on a 3-lane motorway? A. When you're overtaking. B. When you're trying to save fuel. C. When you're driving above the speed limit. D. When you're turning right. A. When you're overtaking. The right-hand lane of the motorway is for overtaking. Sometimes you may be directed into a right-hand lane as a result of roadworks or a traffic incident. This will be indicated by signs or officers directing the traffic. Question 19. What's the national speed limit on a single carriageway road for cars and motorcycles? A. 30 miles per hour. B. 70 miles per hour. C. 50 miles per hour. D. 60 miles per hour. D. 60 miles per hour. Exceeding the speed limit is dangerous and can result in you receiving penalty points on your license. It isn't worth it. You should know the speed limit for the road that you're on by observing the road signs. Different speed limits apply if you're towing a trailer. Question 20. Where will you see these red and white markers? A. Approaching the end of a motorway. B. Approaching the end of a dual carriageway. C. Approaching a concealed level crossing. D. Approaching a concealed speed limit sign. C. Approaching a concealed level crossing. If there's a bend just before a level crossing, you may not be able to see the level crossing barriers or waiting traffic. These signs give you an early warning that you may find these hazards just around the bend. Question 21. What should you do when you're approaching this crossing? A. Stop and wave the pedestrians across. B. Prepare to slow down and stop. C. Speed up and pass by quickly. D. Continue unless the pedestrians step out. B. Prepare to slow down and stop. Be courteous and prepare to stop. Don't wave people across, because this could be dangerous if another vehicle is approaching the crossing. Question 22. Why is it more difficult to overtake a large vehicle than a car? A. It will take longer for a large vehicle to accelerate. B. A large vehicle will be fitted with a speed limiter. C. It will take longer to overtake a large vehicle. D. A large vehicle will have air brakes. C. It will take longer to overtake a large vehicle. Depending on relative speed, it will usually take you longer to pass a lorry than other vehicles. Hazards to watch for include oncoming traffic, junctions ahead, bends or dips that could restrict your view, and signs or road markings that prohibit overtaking. Make sure you can see that it's safe to complete the maneuver before you start to overtake. Question 23. You're approaching traffic lights and the red light is showing. What signal will show next? A. Red and amber. B. Amber alone. C. Green and amber. D. Green alone. A. Red and amber. If you know which light is going to show next, you can plan your approach accordingly. This can help prevent excessive braking or hesitation at the junction. Question 24. There's been a collision. How can you help a driver who's suffering from shock? A. Give them a drink. B. Ask who caused the incident. C. Reassure them confidently. D. Offer them a cigarette. C. Reassure them confidently. A casualty suffering from shock may have injuries that aren't immediately obvious. Call the emergency services, then stay with the person in shock, offering reassurance until the experts arrive. Question 25. What should you do when you're using a contraflow system? A. Switch lanes to make better progress. B. Follow other motorists closely to avoid long queues. C. Choose an appropriate lane in good time. D. Increase speed to get through the contraflow more quickly. C. Choose an appropriate lane in good time. In a contraflow system, you'll be traveling close to oncoming traffic and sometimes in narrow lanes. You should get into the correct lane in good time, obey any temporary speed limit signs and keep a safe separation distance from the vehicle ahead.
Hi there, I hope this video is helpful for you. If it is, please subscribe and turn on notifications for more driving tips and tests. And don't forget to comment your score. Let's get back to the video.
Question 26. What could cause you to crash if the level is allowed to get too low? A. Radiator coolant level. B. Brake fluid level. C. Battery water level. D. Antifreeze level. B. Brake fluid level. You should carry out frequent checks on all fluid levels, but particularly brake fluid. As the brake pads or shoes wear down, the brake fluid level will drop. If it drops below the minimum mark on the fluid reservoir, air could enter the hydraulic system and lead to a loss of braking efficiency or even complete brake failure. Question 27. What should you do if your anti-lock brakes, ABS, warning light stays on? A. Check that the parking brake is released. B. Check the foot brake free play. C. Check the brake fluid level. D. Have the brakes checked immediately. D. Have the brakes checked immediately. Consult the vehicle handbook or a garage before driving the vehicle any further. Only drive to a garage if it's safe to do so. If you aren't sure, get expert help. Question 28. What does it mean if your vehicle keeps bouncing after you sharply press down and release on the bodywork over a wheel? A. The tires are underinflated. B. The tires are worn. C. The shock absorbers are worn. D. The vehicle is on soft ground. C. The shock absorbers are worn. If you find that your vehicle bounces as you drive around a corner or bend in the road, the shock absorbers might be worn. To test your shock absorbers, sharply press down and release above each wheel. If the vehicle continues to bounce, take it to be checked by a qualified mechanic. Question 29. What should you do when you're driving in snowy conditions? A. Be ready to steer sharply. B. Brake gently in plenty of time. C. Use side lights only. D. Brake firmly and quickly. B. Brake gently in plenty of time. In snowy conditions, be careful with the steering, accelerator and brakes. Braking sharply while you're driving on snow is likely to make your car skid. Question 30. What will become more expensive after you've been convicted of driving while unfit through drink or drugs? A. Driving license. B. Vehicle test certificate. C. Road fund license. D. Insurance premiums. D. Insurance premiums. You've shown that you're a risk to yourself and others on the road. For this reason, insurance companies may charge you a higher premium. Question 31. You want to turn right from a main road into a side road. What should you do just before turning? A. Stop and set the parking brake. B. Cancel your right turn signal. C. Select first gear. D. check for traffic overtaking on your right. D. Check for traffic overtaking on your right. In some circumstances, your indicators may be difficult to see and another road user may not realize you're about to turn. A final check in your mirror and blind spot can help you to see an overtaking vehicle, so that you can avoid turning across their path. Question 32. What should you do if there's a bus at a bus stop ahead of you? A. Watch carefully for the sudden appearance of pedestrians. B. Flash your lights to warn the driver of your presence. C. Pass the bus as quickly as you possibly can. D. Continue at the same speed but sound your horn as a warning. A. Watch carefully for the sudden appearance of pedestrians. As you approach, look out for any signal the driver might make. If you pass the vehicle, watch out for pedestrians attempting to cross the road from behind the bus. They'll be hidden from view until the last moment. Question 33. Your car gets a puncture while you're driving on the motorway. What should you do when you've stopped on the hard shoulder? A. Use an emergency telephone and call for help. B. Carefully change the wheel yourself. C. Try to wave down another vehicle for help. D. Only change the wheel if you have a passenger to help you. A. Use an emergency telephone and call for help. Park as far to the left as you can and leave the vehicle by the near side door. Don't attempt even simple repairs. Instead, walk to an emergency telephone on your side of the road and phone for help. While waiting for help to arrive, stay by your car, keeping well away from the carriageway and hard shoulder. Question 34. What should you do if the amber lights come on and a warning sounds while you're driving over a level crossing? A. Get everyone out of the vehicle immediately. B. Keep going and clear the crossing. C. Stop immediately and use your hazard warning lights. D. Stop and reverse back to clear the crossing. B. Keep going and clear the crossing. Keep going, don't stop on the crossing. If the warning sounds and the amber lights come on as you're approaching the crossing, you must stop unless it's unsafe to do so. Red flashing lights together with the audible warning mean you must stop. Question 35. Your car needs to pass an MO test. What may be invalidated if you drive the car without a current MO certificate? A. The vehicle registration document. B. The vehicle service record. C. The vehicle tax. D. The vehicle insurance. D. The vehicle insurance. If your vehicle requires an MO certificate, it's illegal to drive it without one and your insurance may be invalid if you do so. The only exceptions are that you may drive to a pre-arranged MO test appointment, or to a garage for repairs required for the test.
Hi there, I hope this video is helpful for you. If it is, please subscribe and turn on notifications for more driving tips and tests. And don't forget to comment your score. Let's get back to the video.
Question 36. You're driving on a motorway. What does it mean if the car in front shows its hazard warning lights for a short time? A. The driver wants you to overtake. B. The other car is going to change lanes. C. Traffic ahead is slowing or stopping suddenly. D. There's a police speed check ahead. C. Traffic ahead is slowing or stopping suddenly. If the vehicle in front shows its hazard warning lights, there may be an incident, stopped traffic or queuing traffic ahead. By keeping a safe distance from the vehicle in front, you're able to look beyond it and see any hazards well ahead. Question 37. You have stopped in an emergency area. What must you do before you rejoin the carriageway? A. Use the emergency telephone. B. Give an arm signal as you're moving off. C. Switch on your vehicle's headlights. D. Move away with your hazard lights on. A. Use the emergency telephone. To rejoin the carriageway from an emergency area, you must use the emergency telephone and follow the operator's advice. A lane may have to be closed so that you can rejoin the carriageway safely. Question 38. You're on a motorway. What does it mean if a red cross is showing above the hard shoulder and mandatory speed limits above all other lanes? A. The hard shoulder can be used as a rest area if you feel tired. B. The hard shoulder is for emergency or breakdown use only. C. The hard shoulder can be used as a normal running lane. D. The hard shoulder has a speed limit of 50 miles per hour. B. The hard shoulder is for emergency or breakdown use only. A red cross above the hard shoulder shows that it's closed as a running lane and should only be used for emergencies or breakdowns. On some motorways, the hard shoulder may be used as a running lane at busy times. This will be shown by a mandatory speed limit on the gantry above the hard shoulder. Question 39. When should you use the left-hand lane of a motorway? A. When your vehicle breaks down. B. When you're overtaking slower traffic in the other lanes. C. When you're making a phone call. D. When the road ahead is clear. D. When the road ahead is clear. You should drive in the left-hand lane whenever possible. Only use the other lanes for overtaking or when directed to do so by signals. Using other lanes when the left-hand lane is empty can frustrate drivers behind you. Question 40. What would you expect to find at a contraflow system on a motorway? A. Temporary traffic lights. B. Lower speed limits. C. Wider lanes than normal. D. Road humps. B. Lower speed limits. When approaching a contraflow system, reduce speed in good time and obey all speed limits. You may be traveling in a narrower lane than normal, with no permanent barrier between you and the oncoming traffic. Be aware that the hard shoulder may be used for traffic and the road ahead could be obstructed by slow-moving or broken-down vehicles. Question 41. What color are the reflective studs between the lanes on a motorway? A. Green. B. Amber. C. White. D. Red. C. White. White studs are found between the lanes on motorways. They reflect back the light from your headlights. This is especially useful in bad weather, when visibility is restricted. Question 42. You're traveling along a motorway. When are you allowed to overtake on the left? A. When you can see well ahead that the hard shoulder is clear. B. When the traffic in the right-hand lane is signaling right. C. When you warn drivers behind by signaling left. D. When in queues and traffic to your right is moving more slowly than you are. D. When in queues and traffic to your right is moving more slowly than you are. Never overtake on the left, unless the traffic is moving in queues and the queue on your right is moving more slowly than the one you're in. Question 43. Which vehicles are not allowed to use the right-hand lane of a 3-lane motorway? A. Small delivery vans. B. Motorcycles. C. Vehicles towing a trailer. D. Motorcycle and sidecar outfits. C. Vehicles towing a trailer. On the motorway, any vehicle towing a trailer is restricted to 60 miles per hour. It's not allowed in the right-hand lane, as it might hold up faster-moving traffic that wishes to overtake in that lane. Question 44. What should you do immediately after joining a motorway? A. Try to overtake. B. Readjust your mirrors. C. Position your vehicle in the center lane. D. Stay in the left-hand lane. D. Stay in the left-hand lane. When you've just joined a motorway, stay in the left-hand lane long enough to get used to the higher speeds of motorway traffic before considering overtaking. Question 45. Which vehicles should use the left-hand lane on a 3-lane motorway? A. Any vehicle that's not overtaking. B. Large vehicles only. C. Emergency vehicles only. D. Slow vehicles only. A. Any vehicle that's not overtaking. On a motorway, all traffic should use the left-hand lane unless overtaking. When overtaking a number of slower vehicles, move back to the left-hand lane when you're safely passed. Check your mirrors frequently and do not stay in the middle or right-hand lane if the left-hand lane is free.
Hi there, I hope this video is helpful for you. If it is, please subscribe and turn on notifications for more driving tips and tests. And don't forget to comment your score. Let's get back to the video.
Question 46. On a 3-lane motorway, which lane should you use if there's no traffic ahead? A. Left. B. Right. C. Center. D. Either the right or center. A. Left. On a 3-lane motorway, you should travel in the left-hand lane unless you're overtaking. This applies regardless of the speed at which you're traveling. Question 47. Your vehicle has broken down on a motorway. In which direction should you walk to find the nearest emergency telephone? A. With the traffic flow. B. Facing oncoming traffic. C. In the direction shown on the marker posts. D. In the direction of the nearest exit. C. In the direction shown on the marker posts. Along the hard shoulder there are marker posts at 100-meter intervals. These will direct you to the nearest emergency telephone. Question 48. What's the national speed limit on motorways for cars and motorcycles? A. 30 miles per hour. B. 50 miles per hour. C. 60 miles per hour. D. 70 miles per hour. D. 70 miles per hour. Traveling at the national speed limit does not allow you to hog the right-hand lane. Always use the left-hand lane whenever possible. When leaving a motorway, get into the left-hand lane well before your exit. Reduce your speed on the slip road and look out for sharp bends or curves and traffic queuing at roundabouts. Question 49. What should you do while you're driving or riding along a motorway? A. Look much further ahead than you would on other roads. B. Travel much faster than you would on other roads. C. Maintain a shorter separation distance than you would on other roads. D. Concentrate more than you would on other roads. A. Look much further ahead than you would on other roads. Traffic on motorways usually travels faster than on other roads. You need to be looking further ahead to give yourself more time to react to any hazard that may develop. Question 50. What's the speed limit for a car towing a trailer on a motorway? A. 40 miles per hour. B. 50 miles per hour. C. 60 miles per hour. D. 70 miles per hour. C. 60 miles per hour. If you're towing a small, light trailer, it will not reduce your vehicle's performance by very much and it may not be visible in your mirrors. However, strong winds or buffeting from large vehicles might cause the trailer to snake from side to side. Be aware of your speed and do not exceed the reduced speed limit imposed on vehicles towing trailers.